Hi all, in today's tutorial, let's learn how to paint the stunning sunset. For today's tutorial, these are the materials that you will need. So you'll need 2 jars of water, masking tape to secure your paper, paper which is preferably 100% cotton, a pencil, an eraser, a few round brushes, cloth to wipe your paint off, and of course paints. Today I'll be using the Thoovi Cosmos half pan set. So this has like 12 varieties of colors and we'll be using them for painting today's tutorial. This is the pencil sketch that we'll be using today. So I'll show it to you closer. You can pause and sketch it out. Okay, let's start by applying water to the entire paper. We'll be using the wet on wet technique today to paint the entire background of this painting. So let's apply water to the whole of the paper. Make sure you apply generous amount of water so that your paper stays wet for a very long time. Okay, I've applied water to the entire paper and you can see there is a sheen of water. There's no excess water. Okay, let's start painting the sky with a dark blue. So I'm using this Prussian blue shade here. Let's apply the Prussian blue shade to the top part of the paper. Watercolors tend to dry a shade lighter, so make sure to add a generous amount of paint. Once we've applied the blue shade, let's start adding the red-violet shade. In order to get the perspective right, it is always better to have the top part of your painting a bit darker. So I'm mixing this Prussian blue with a little bit of black to add depth to the top part of the paper. Now let's try to blend the blue and the red-violet shade together by mixing the red-violet shade and the Prussian blue together to get a mid-tone. We'll apply this mid-tone towards the middle part where we are trying to blend. Let's start adding the next shade, which is this red-orange. Now that we've added the background, let's take a smaller size brush and add the clouds. Okay, so I'm using this Prussian blue color itself to add the clouds on the top. So just dab your brush like this to add the clouds. To give the clouds more depth, I'm adding this violet shade, mixing it with Prussian blue. Let's use the cadmium red shade to add clouds over the orange part. Now that we have added the clouds, we'll wait for this to completely dry. Background is completely dry. Let's start painting the foreground. So I'll be using Thoovi Art's Payne's Grey watercolor tube to paint the foreground. Let's start by painting the electric post. Add the paint over the portion you sketched earlier. There could be a chance where the sketch is not visible. In this case, add the sketch over the dried background once again. Once you've added the electric post, we can start adding the bushes which are there on the bottom part. To make it look more like foliage, use the tip of your round brush and dab it on the top part of the bushes. Once we've added the bushes, let's add a pine tree like structure to the left side. So we'll not be able to see the stem of this tree, we'll only be able to see the branches that are coming out. Now I am going to use a liner brush to draw the lines that are connected to the electric pole. Drawing these lines could be a bit tricky as they need to be very thin. So try to make sure you have the right amount of paint in your brush and have a lot of patience. It's okay if you have double lines like this. You can make them look like the wires are entangled. Once the painting is completely dry, it is time to remove the masking tape. And with this we are done with the tutorial. I hope it was helpful for you. Happy painting!